Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Inside Haiku Apps. So, what have I got for you today? Well, we all know Terminal, right? Mine's set to black, but of course that can be changed fairly easily. There we go. So, the question now is, do we have any other terminal emulators? Why is it called a terminal emulator? Now that goes back, I don't know, 50, 60 years. Because the original terminal was your entire screen. That was back in the days when a computer was something that took up an entire room. And you just had a line going to it that ended up in your terminal. And it would be all green letters on a black screen. There were no windows, there were no buttons to push, everything was just type, 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 type. And so when you put up your quote terminal on a screen like this, it's actually a terminal emulator. It pretends to be an ancient system, from the 1950s. So ours is simply called Terminal. Now, if you come from the Linux world, there's so many of these. There's Xterm, which is extremely basic. There's GNOME Terminal, XFCE Terminal, Kitty. I don't know. There's dozens of them. And the question is, do we have anything like that on Haiku? We do. And it's called Konsole with a K. That should tell you something. This is not merely a Qt app, it is a KDE app. And when you install it, it will ask for a ridiculous number of dependencies, all of which have to be installed. But it's got some advantages, perhaps. We'll discuss that a bit later, right? So you can split the view, right? And now you have two. And we can split this again. Now let's make it a bit bigger here. And I am going to run in this one word grinder. And I am going to load a file that I've prepared. Right. Load document set. And it's on my desktop. And don't disgrace me now. And there we have the word grinder. And since I'm doing something to do with productivity, let's call up what's that thing called again? I thought I had this on here. Let's just say top. And then, of course, we can split this view again. Right. Let's just say And what was that thing that SC underscore IM, that's the one I'm looking for. And now it, not an underscore, but there we go. Right, this is a character mode spreadsheet, and which I did not make a file for you to look at because it uses Vim keystrokes and I don't really like those. All right, so we can make this whole thing full screen, almost. Let's make it even a little bigger. Hello. There we go. Okay, so then it has a lot of settings. Now the nice thing about all this is that you can save these layouts. And so let's just exit this program here, file, exit, right, exit this one, right, and oh, I'm just going to close it like that. Why not? On top of that, besides the split view, you can have tabs. So let's file, view, where is it? Load tab, layout, right? And I save that on the desktop. And this should now save it the way I saved it to a JSON file on the desktop. I have not found a way to save that with all the programs and files in place. Sorry about that. There might be a way. Haven't found it yet. So that is Konsole, and if you're a command line junkie, then you probably want to install it just to have an alternative. However, yeah, close everything. However, Terminal is deeply integrated into Haiku. And while we don't have the split across a facility, right, we can always call up a new one, SCIM, and then we use the magic of stack and tile to which, there we go. And so when you think about it that way, the only real difference is that stack and tile at the moment is not scriptable. So you can't just say, save this stack and tile layout and, you know, save it so I can call it up again later. So that is the main disadvantage, but otherwise Look, my starting point is that terminal is ours. No, it's got a few weak points. It doesn't always show bold text very well, and colors are not always what they should be. And Konsole is much more advanced in that respect, but it's ours. And just like Web Positive is our browser, and we should use it whenever we can, so the same goes for Terminal. It's fast, it's deeply integrated into the system, and so unless you have a really, really good reason to use Konsole, I think keep it around, have it installed, but use Terminal whenever you can. See, because that is the only way we're going to find problems with it and make it better.